These are the walls of the old city of Aleppo, the old and embattled city, as we already saw when we arrived. We're gonna go in and see what it's like now. You can see there's been a lot of fighting out here as well. Alleys. There are a lot of bullet holes in the building. Unlike in Damascus, the bazaar is really quiet, and we have Mr. Saddam Hussein over there in the taxi. There's not a lot of business going on in the old city, as I would have expected. But one of the many damaged buildings over there. We're going to try to find our way to the ruins, to the old citadel. The embattled old city. It's very quiet. Life hasn't really returned yet to this part of town. So much of the old city looks like this, just endless alleyways through old bazaars that have been completely destroyed and professionally deconstructed by Assad and by Russian fighter pilots and bomber pilots. So it's not strange that life hasn't quite returned yet into this old city center. Just a little bit. Some graffiti here on this interesting looking entrance, and it says sniper. I wonder what they mean. I've seen this before in video footage from Sarajevo, where they are warning about snipers. Maybe they're doing the same here. Within the ruins there's this mysterious locked golden door that's still standing, or standing again, who knows? Who knows where that would lead. Some of the reconstruction, or at least reinforcement of some of the buildings, has begun here in the old city center as well. Like this archway. Most of it is still bombed out. We're going to try to find a big mosque to see what's still standing of that. And look, in this souk there's some life as well, some shops, some activity, and electric lights are working. That's nice. Let's see if we can find the mosque. Souk al-Hibal, advised by a variety of international organizations. This particular souk that's been reconstructed has a very interesting shape, more conical than the other ones that we've seen. So here's the mosque wall, and you can see they are busy with reconstruction. There's a crane up, and the main minaret seems to have been rebuilt as well. And good to see that kebab is also being sold again in the old city, in the resort part anyway. It looks very fresh, but it still looks a bit sterile. Lauf just hasn't fully returned to this part of the city yet, and you can see the relics of the war right across from the new buildings, the newly built souks and markets, right next to the mosque that is under construction. You can't go in for now. The main minaret looks nice in the setting sun. Some fresh baklava and kunefe. So yeah, life is back in this part of the souk for sure. It's almost as crowded as Damascus. In a part of the old city of Aleppo that hasn't been quite as destroyed, we found this lovely hotel, and they're going to serve us some coffee. They're making the coffee in there, but they seem somewhat surprised that they have guests at all in this cool interior from all kinds of periods. Looks like on the desk they have a school book to learn Russian, a road to Russia they call it, with these creepy looking people on the front. But I suspect not too many Russians are showing up in Aleppo anymore. This section has been lovingly rebuilt as well in the old style, but it looks very fresh. And what a contrast over here. Beautifully restored, riddled with bullet holes And then on this side, completely demolished. See if you can get a little bit of an overview. You can see the interior is on the outside, these tiles. And over there, the citadel. Right next to the citadel, the reconstruction efforts have really taken place. See a lot of restored buildings, not everything is finished, just look over there. The citadel itself hasn't been spared from shrapnel either. But in the case of this one, you know, it's a citadel. It could have been shrapnel from 1,000 years ago as well. Inside of the citadel you can see an old hamam, public bath building over there. That's the big gatehouse. Beautiful shiny dome, restored over there. Here on the wall we've got a wonderful view over the entire city and of its ruins and of its reconstruction. From here behind this watchtower over here you can see a huge crater left by some big, probably airborne explosive, a Russian jet. This hamam is one of the few buildings that's still accessible. Not completely, because there's a barred door locked over here. You can see the public bath, the interior a little bit. Hamam, by the way, also just means toilet. So if you're in an Arabic country and you're looking for a toilet, you can ask for the hamam. Out of nowhere, an Arabic-speaking worker popped up and he gave us entrance to the hamam. So we can look a little bit more inside and see the light from the domes shining onto the walls. So that was the old, very much damaged city of Aleppo. We are going to try to find one more mosque before calling it a day. So let's find a taxi. As per usual, the taxi is richly decorated. And the way we stopped at the old train station here in Aleppo. And there's more war scenes, just like we saw in the last video at the panorama. From the same war too, from the October War, which Syria lost. Which Syria lost the Golan Heights. You see Israeli tanks coming over the hill against the Syrian forces. A monument to the unknown soldier, like we were at last time as well. And more images of Russian astronauts. Both the old train station here in Aleppo and the one in Damascus, which we visited already before, have been turned into art exhibitions, which is pretty cool. And it's nice that we can get a look inside of these old Orient Express type train stations. And this one we can actually get on the platform. It's a big chessboard. There's some trains still over there, and there's a guy playing guitar just over there. Two guys even. The atmosphere here is very different from the rest of the city and from the rest of Syria. And even though this feels like a liberal oasis within the new jihadist Syria, there are still the guys with beards and Kalashnikovs walking around here, and I wonder what they think of art like this piece here. Some modernist Islamic monuments over here in the sunset. Here we have the wonderful fairy tale mosque a little bit outside of the city center where we just were. Looks very cool, very interesting design. I've not seen anything like it, but it reminds me a little bit of the cathedral in Timisoara, which is also very fairy tale-ish. But obviously that's a cathedral and this is a mosque, so they look very different. I hope you enjoyed that video here in Aleppo, and I hope to see you next time.